Welcome to the Put On Waivers Media Group, home of the Put On Raiders podcast and the Student Body Right podcast. This is your place for the best breakdowns and the best insight for those who fight on and bleed silver and black. Now, here are your hosts, Dwayne Douglas and Ryan Holmes.
And welcome, everybody, to another glorious episode of the Student Body Right USC Podcast. I'm your host, Dwayne Douglas, and as always, I am podcasting off the beautiful shores of the Pacific Ocean. Beautiful day out here in Southern California, POR. SBR is my Twitter handle. Coach B will be with us later in the week, and he is Blue DVL 21. Blue DVL 21. Message to all Hawkeyes.
Enjoy your stay. Welcome to LA.
Oh man, I tell you, when you talk as much as they talk, when you talk as much as the head coach talked, when you talk about you're going to do this, you're going to do that, it's easy to talk trash about teams they're not on your schedule, and then when they go on your schedule, then you have to start playing them, then you have to go out there and beat them, and the elements, everything that you could think of was in their favor. Besides the game being in Iowa. It was raining. It was they got off to a fast start. Like all the things you could ever. I mean, they had a little trick play to make you, to make you look, to make USC look stupid. He wanted so bad to go out there and show a little smile put a little smile on his face, if you will. After the trick play when they scored in this ball game, and they had the lead, they had the defense, they had the quote unquote physical makeup to take down USC, and USC still found a way to win the game because the narratives are like they keep moving the goalposts on the narratives with USC, right? They can't win on the road. They win on the road. They can't win. They can be physical. Can it be physical against Michigan? So being physical against Michigan wasn't enough. So we have to wait to be physical against Iowa. So it is what it is. It is what it is. SC fans, like it's never going to be enough until they're holding that championship trophy. And that's the life of a blue blood. That's the life of a blue blood program. Like it's never enough. So now they did what once they lost to Illinois and Notre Dame. You looked at the schedule, and you said to yourself, "Hey, take a deep breath. If they can just get to this point, and they've gotten to that point, if they can just get to this point where they're playing at Oregon with a playoff spot on the line, that's all you can ask for at that point. Like the disappointment of losing at Notre Dame, the disappointment of losing at Illinois, those were tough pills to swallow for the Trojans. But right now, I mean, they did what they were supposed to do in this moment. They regrouped. They battled through injuries. Got a walk-on running back, who's waiting for a scholarship to open up for him. Like they had injuries on the offensive line. Now they got injuries in the secondary with both their starting safeties, who are NFL caliber safeties. Like it's a tough road right here, but they still fought through that. They didn't use it as an excuse. It was next man up. I think that's what what we're seeing from the Trojans here is that they're really fighting. The motto is to fight on, and they really are doing a great job of that in these ball games. Game balls, real quick. Just moments in these games and guys in these games who played very well. Kennedy Urlacher came in and played great. I give him. He had one of the best plays in the game, pushing the Iowa receiver out of bounds with not on the last drive. The last drive shouldn't have even taken place because USC forced a fumble, and there was a phantom holding call that nobody even saw. You couldn't even see it on film, so that was horrible. That's why I kind of laugh when Iowa fans are bitching and moaning about calls in the game. I thought Anthony Lucas, probably one of his best games as a Trojan. He did a fantastic job in this ball game. Give him a lot of credit. He was a menace, especially in the second half. USC, obviously, when they go to Oregon, they can't sit there and sit back and end up playing only a half of football. They got to play more than that. I mean, Oregon at Autzen Stadium and with Dan Lanning as their head coach is going to be a tall task. But again, they have overcome a lot this year, and you're hoping that USC can overcome more going forward here. In the second half, it was really kind of a situation where they were up and down offensively, up and down with their play all over the place in the game. And it was kind of cool to see just two receivers, just and obviously the quarterback, J.D. Maya, would just take over a ball game. And their tremendous athleticism and their ability to make acrobatic catches all over the place. I mean, they were tremendous in contested catches in this game. I mean, the post route to Makai Lemon, the jump, the leaping crazy catch where he landed on his head, bounced right up and just said, first down. I mean, those are great plays. There was a play where J.D. Maiava rolled right, and just before he went out of bounds, he threw it up high to Jacoby Lane. Jacoby Lane came down with a huge catch. He used every bit of that 6'4" frame to make that catch. So, again, those are the kind of plays. Obviously the offensive line, defensive line played physical in the second half. Shut out Iowa in the second half. They shut them out. And as much as you want to cry about, like I said, you want to cry about that part of the game. If you're them, you can't really cry about it. You can't really cry about a game where you didn't score in the second half, bro. Like, you didn't score in the second half. I mean, 3 points might have won you the game in the second half, because then that last drive isn't for a touchdown, it's for a field goal. So I get it. We're fans. They're emotional. Iowa doesn't have pro sports. So, the University of Iowa and Iowa State, those schools all there are their pro sports. And they've seen the same thing over and over again from Kurt Ferentz, who can't get anything going offensively sometimes. This team was probably his best offensive team, and it still wasn't good enough. Couldn't beat Indiana, couldn't beat USC, couldn't beat Oregon. 2 out of those 3 games were in their building, and they still couldn't get it done. If they grab one of those games, they're still in the playoff. So it's in the playoff race. They can make an argument to be in the playoff. But they're going to be at a random bowl game near you coming up. USC might be there as well, but hey, they fought for one more week to get that going. But yeah, Lane, Jacoby Lane, Makai Lemon, just tremendous performances in this ball game, and just the acrobatic plays that they made. Those plays they just get everybody going, and I thought that was really cool to see how those things transformed kind of the outcome of the ball game. Next game ball to the fans, bro. Like, I mean, we're not used to stuff like that out in California to get that kind of rain, and for that to happen during a game, it's even less likely. The last rain game I've been to was when I went to went to SoFi, I believe, to see a Raider game, and it was because they have a little hole they're open in the middle. The rain just comes right in, and the floor is like ice skating rink, and it's ridiculous. The design is kind of wild that way, but it didn't affect this. It didn't affect the play on the field. This didn't affect the play on the field at all. I think they handled the wet ball very well. I mean, we had one fumble in the game that was recovered by Makai Lemon. Probably one of the biggest plays of the game was that play. So, it was the elements really did not bother SC at all. I mean, they've been able to kind of play at a high level despite all that, despite all the stuff happening in Nebraska and the wind and cold and stuff like that. They've been able to play well in elements so far this year, and it was kind of cool to see them get home elements here as well. So the fans who are out there with no shirt on, doing the North Carolina come on and raise up. I mean, they had the shirts off and everything, doing their thing. So shout out to the fans out there at the Coliseum. And Ryan Sierra just continues. He just continues to march his way through the lore of USC kickers. He's just hitting. He is just. You never want to like say it's just like automatic, but he's really confident, man. That kid is a really confident kicker. He's doing a great job for SC right now, and you feel really good about what when he has to kick a ball, you feel good about it. You feel really solid about okay, this one's going to go in, and we're good to go. No matter what hash it's on, no matter the distance so far, he's been great. And it's really good to see that special teams for USC is actually, besides the one huge hiccup against Notre Dame, they've been pretty good. And Coach Riley, hands up, talking. I would love to hear what he said. But these coaches don't forget stuff like that. Unwarranted attacks from Kurt Ferentz on Lincoln Riley when he's accomplished more than you. And he's way younger than you. Been to the playoff, all the stuff like that. Like, he's accomplished a lot in his career. And it hasn't been a bed of roses. And again, this all could be for naught. If they lose 37-17 at Oregon, then people will just say they're still not there yet. They're not physical. They're not that. They're not this. But at the end of the day, that was a great performance by USC in the second half. And I think, a lot of times, coaches panic, and he didn't panic in this situation. He knew that this team could get back in the game. They were able to get back in the game. Great job by SC in that one. So those are the game balls for the game. And listen, I thought USC would go undefeated. I said it before. At the start of the season, in our preseason breakdowns, I thought when I looked at the schedule, I said that if they beat Michigan, they're going to go undefeated at home. And now they have a whole thing going on at home now. Like Jaden Mayava doesn't lose at home now. Like he's just playing such at a high level when he needs to play, when he needs to in his building. I still think he can run a little bit more and change the game a little bit with his legs. We'll see what happens when they go up to Oregon to see what happens there. But some of these passes. I mean, he threw a pass on the sideline to Mekhi Lemon. That's just a dime, bro. It's just a dime, bro. Like he has some of these throws that are just absolute dimes, and he wasn't a big question mark for me. Because I was like, I trusted Lincoln to do his thing with a quarterback, but there are other shows, there are other people who said, hey, what is USC doing? Why are they not bringing in a transfer quarterback? Some folks wanted the quarterback from Iowa to be a Trojan. So it's kind of interesting to see how well he's played under the big bright lights of Los Angeles, and the connection he has with his teammates, all those things like that. It's just fun to kind of see. It's fun to see a young man just grow up and become a really good player. It really is. You saw it with Jacoby. I mean, how long has Jacoby been here? How long has Mekhi been here? They've just grown. You see, you would see Lake McCree, a guy who has battled through so many injuries just to stay with the Trojans and contribute. He's always, every game he makes 2 or 3 really good catches. You're seeing more and more from Walker Lyons. You're seeing more from Miller, King Miller's brother. He steps in and just plays guard like it's nobody's business. Like every single obstacle they've had, they've kind of overcome it. And now the biggest one, the one with the team that is trying to take away what the West Coast knows about USC, trying to take away, take away the recruits, take away, the players from California, to take away, the championship level play or conversation from USC has been Oregon. I mean, Oregon has been that. They've been all that. Like we got to call it like it is. Oregon has been the probably the most dominant team out west for a while now. You got to have an honest conversation about that. This game gives USC an opportunity to take some of that back. I know we got the recruiting class coming. I know we got all those things coming, but like you got to do it. They got reinforcements coming in the high school draft, and I'm sure Chad Bowden will do a good job with the transfer portal if they need some spots there. But I do think it's important for USC to do it on the field. It's vital that they do it on the field. They got to do it on the field. For them to be taken seriously, they got to do it on the field, and they got to go out there and beat them. I mean, 10.5-point dogs. The public is really hammering Oregon in this game. USC is, kind of an afterthought in this game for a lot of people. College game day will be there, but when you get kicked the way USC has been kicked by Oregon the last couple of seasons, I'm sorry, probably the last 10, 15 years now, they gotta wake up. And and maybe even a close loss will bring some of that back, but they have an opportunity to win this game. They have a great opportunity to win this game. Like, I know it's 10 points. I know it's whatever. It is what it is. Oregon deserves the respect of being a heavy home favorite against pretty much anybody in the country. But this is still an opportunity for SC to kind of plant the flag again and say, I know you guys are good, but you're not the kings of the West by yourself. Not only can we battle you in the recruiting aspect of this with Chad Bowden and everything like that, but we can do it on the field too. And that's the biggest question. Can USC do it on the field against Oregon? Should be fun. Fun week coming up for you. We'll be talking about USC, talking about, the game against the Ducks and how, this is going to be just, we have probably do a show every week because of it, because it's such a big game for SC. And I do kind of like, Lincoln Riley's approach. I think he just said that, it's not a big deal for College game day to be there because all those guys said we were going to be bad this year anyway. So why are we going to make a big deal about them coming to that game? And you know what? Every one of those guys, you're going to see the whole lineup. They're all going to pick Oregon. This is the perfect, all against all odds game. To steal a line from Josina Anderson, it's gonna be a big all against all odds game, where if you just hang around, Oregon has to feel that little bit of that pressure too. Because if they don't win this game, then let's be real, like they might not make the playoff at 10-2. They might not make it. It's a pure elimination game. And USC is in prime position. They're right there. And I know that the injuries are there. I know all that stuff, but and it looks like Oregon might be getting their receivers back. I know all that stuff, but at the end of the day, it's just one game. You don't got to win a series against them. You just got to win one game. And if they win this one game, that game will definitely go down for Lincoln Riley and company as just one of the biggest games that they've won in his era as the head coach of the USC Trojans. All right, Student Body Right USC Podcast. Next time I come on, it will be with Coach B, get his thoughts about SC Iowa, and then the upcoming huge game against the Ducks. I mean, it should be a great game. I kind of wish it was a little bit later. I like Oregon. I like Oregon at night. I like when they play at night out there in Autzen. But everybody got college football. One thing I learned about college football fans or college football, excuse me, networks. They love the games at 12:30. So or 3:30 on the East Coast. So they got the prime spotlight here. We'll see what USC does, and we'll be here to break it down for you as the days go by. So all right. To the Body Right USC Podcast. Fight on, folks.